Now, from the WCCO Live Desk, you're watching CBS News Minnesota.
Hi, good morning. I'm Maria Lizignoli. It's 10 o'clock live in the WCCO newsroom. Thanks for joining us at the Live Desk. It's day 2 of the legislative session at the state capitol. As for day 2, it's back to work with a full agenda for lawmakers. The focus for today is expected to be largely centered around the impact of the ice surge in Minnesota. Democrats are planning to introduce a number of bills to address concerns related to the federal immigration operation. These will cover hot-button issues like ICE agents' access to schools and rental assistance for those impacted by ICE operations. Republicans are also introducing bills to protect public safety officers' personal information and to stop protest outside of someone's home. We'll continue to bring you the latest right here on WCCO and CBS News Minnesota. New this morning, Minnesota and federal authorities are investigating the alleged beating of a Mexican citizen by immigration officers. We told you about this case back in January, where Alberto Castaneda Mondragon suffered from 8 skull fractures. Now, investigators are working to learn how that happened. St. Paul police and FBI investigators canvassed the shopping center parking lot where Castaneda Mondragon says ICE agents repeatedly hit him in the head with a steel baton. ICE, meanwhile, blames the man for his injuries, saying he attempted to flee while handcuffed and hit his head against a concrete wall. But hospital staff who cared for Castaneda Mondragon told the Associated Press a fall like that couldn't account for the injuries he has. Today, community leaders and mutual aid organizers are calling for an eviction moratorium as they say crisis grows across the state from the ICE surge. Today, this morning, around 9:30, they shared their stories to highlight how neighbors have shown up to care for each other through mutual aid efforts. They also called on Governor Walz to use his authority to enact an eviction moratorium and on legislative leaders to deliver substantial rent relief and extend the pre-eviction notice period from 14 to 30 days. This is part of Eviction Moratorium Week of Action. According to the office of Governor Tim Walz, the governor does not currently have legal authority to enact an eviction moratorium. We had a crew at this news conference and we'll bring you an update in our later newscasts. And happening later today, Minnesotans will hold a rally, march, and legislative visits for accountability and economic recovery in the wake of the ICE surge. People will be calling on the state leadership to account for what they are calling inaction during the ICE surge from the Trump administration. They will issue demands to help the state, communities, and businesses recover. The rally is happening this afternoon from 1:10 to 1:45 at the Capitol Rotunda. Then the march is planned for outside the Capitol complex right after. This morning, there was a Senate committee hearing on the impact of Operation Metro Surge in schools. The Senate Education Committee heard from school board members, superintendents, parents, teachers, and staff. They spoke about how the ICE surge impacted day-to-day school operations, attendance records, school mental health, and more. And today's hearing comes as Minnesota school districts are still missing students as fears of ICE continue. And missing students means these schools could start losing funding. On Tuesday, monitors patrolling the streets around Columbia Heights Public Schools reported seeing 3 agents. With agents still around, the school is down about 130 students, according to the Columbia Heights superintendent. That would equate to a loss of about $2 million in expected funding for the next school year. The Columbia Heights superintendent spoke about the ICE impact at the hearing this morning. Here's her full testimony.
Columbia Heights Public Schools serves about 3,400 students, 800 of whom are currently enrolled in our, recently enrolled in our online learning program solely out of fear. Previous to January, we had about 25 secondary, middle school plus high school students enrolled in our online program. Our school district has been massively impacted by the actions taken by DHS and ICE in our community over the last several weeks. Several students have been pulled over on their way to school. Dozens of our parents have been detained. 7 of our students were taken during this surge, and 6 of them were taken within hours, flown to the Dilley Detention Center in Texas. As of last week, we had 2 students still in the detention center in Texas. I learned yesterday that our 11th grader and her mother were deported back to their home country. And she had been with us since middle school. So really big loss for our school community. And they had been at that detention center for over a month, and similarly with our current 5th grader who's been there over a month. We've all seen the groups in our community, groups of 8 or more, masked, unidentified, armed, oftentimes men, but not always, swarming cars and pulling them over. 3 of them will box in our 17-year-olds on their way to school. Our first child was taken with her mother on their way to school as they were driving to school that morning. The families I have worked with, so the 7 families, have come to this country by legal means. I've seen the immigration paperwork with my own eyes because they've shown it to me asking for help, right? They're not violent criminals. They're mothers, fathers, children, neighbors. So I do want to thank the hundreds of community members, teachers, and other staff and parents who have shown up for our school community by standing on every corner of every morning and every afternoon, even several blocks up, just being on the watch. Senator Kunesh herself, who represents our school community, was out several mornings volunteering as a crossing guard. Again, children are no longer serving as school patrols. We have adults doing that at this point because it's too risky. So imagine being a legal immigrant to our nation, or even a US citizen, not a criminal, being racially profiled to the extent of being too scared to leave your home for weeks and months. Community members rallied around our neighbors to deliver weekly groceries, provide rent assistance, and pick up crucial medications from pharmacies. Our school district enrollment is down as of today, compared to this time last year, 130 students, and I link that directly to ICE operations in our district. This decline in enrollment alone will result in a nearly $2 million funding loss for our district, where we're already faced with a $3.6 million loss in compensatory revenue. Funding shortfalls aside, our community will need the support to repair harm, both for academic learning loss with 800 kids online and mental health supports as well. So it's taken a toll on our staff, our students, and all of our community. Thank you.
In just a half hour, a highly anticipated press conference will take place on the future of mining near the Boundary Waters. Save the Boundary Waters will hold the conference ahead of a vote to overturn a 20-year mining ban. The resolution aims to use the Congressional Review Act to revoke a public land order. The order protects over 225,000 acres of federal land near the Boundary Waters and Voyager National Park from sulfide or copper mining for 20 years. If passed, this resolution will allow the Trump administration to fast-track a foreign-owned sulfide or copper mining project the Trump administration says is proven to be a raw deal for Minnesotans and Americans. We'll bring you a look at this press conference right here at the live desk on our streaming channel, CBS News Minnesota. Now to northern Minnesota, we have newly released body camera video and dash cam video of deputies shooting a man and killing him. It happened February 10th. Warning, this video is graphic and may be difficult to watch. In the video, you can see a shooting between St. Louis County Sheriff deputies and 30-year-old Donald Fever. The BCA, who's handling the investigation, says Fever was driving erratically. That's when deputies tried to pull him over, but then Fever fled, which led to a chase. Deputies eventually stopped Fever's car with a pit maneuver and then exited their squads to approach Fever's car. That's when deputies say Fever fired shots at the deputies, and they responded by shooting and killing Fever. He was pronounced dead in his car. Once the investigation is complete, the BCA will present its findings without recommendation on charges to the St. Louis County Attorney's Office for review. Coming up, new video of thunder snow in Duluth. You are not going to want to miss that. Plus, as we take a live look outside here in Minneapolis, you can see our conditions aren't great, and they're only going to get worse. Joseph Dames has a full forecast after the break.
Now, from the WCCO Live Desk, you're watching CBS News Minnesota.
Welcome back to the Live Desk. It's a big day for outdoor enthusiasts in northern Wisconsin. Events for the 2026 Slumberland American Birkebeiner began today. Well, they are going to begin today in Hayward and Cable. And here is a live look at the American Birkebeiner Trailhead in Cable, Wisconsin. You can see fresh snow has fallen, and the open track races set for today have been postponed to tomorrow due to the storm hitting the area. That means the family fun events that were planned in downtown Hayward tomorrow will now move here to Cable. Oh, you can see someone already out there. Oh, that's so fun. Now, these races include the Junior Birkie and the Barky Birkie, where people race with their dogs, which is amazing. And Birkie Fun continues the rest of the week with classic and skate races. We know that this is something that people come from all over the world to see and do. Distances range from 15K to the full 50K race. And yeah, as you can see, so many people in the crowds, people from all over the country come to participate in this staple in Wisconsin for the winter. Now, what a night for weather up in northern Minnesota. Take a look at this. Whew. This is video from Duluth just after 10:20 last night, and this is thunder, snow, and lightning amid all of that falling snow. Crazy to see there, isn't that? Let's take a live look outside downtown Minneapolis, where you can see the next weather tower is shining green, which means precipitation. And we had a lot of that overnight. We had a lot of rain overnight, but now it's going to transition to some snow. And we have issued a next weather alert day for that. Joseph Dames does have a weather forecast for you. Okay, here it is. Yes, he just sent it to us because these alerts have been coming in all morning, and the weather has been changing. So let me put in his alert and forecast right here and see what he has to say.
Good Wednesday to everyone. I'm meteorologist Joseph Dames taking a look at the forecast, and it doesn't look like the last 5 days, not even close. Temperatures this afternoon in the 30s, down near freezing. We have snow in the forecast, and we have a next weather alert now for today because snow totals have come up a little bit, especially for southwest and southern counties of the metro area. And it's just going to be around a little bit longer. You can see that our precipitation chances pretty much 100% as we head into this afternoon and into tonight, slowing down some through the overnight with a steady overnight temperature that's probably down to about 30 to 32 degrees overnight. Winter alerts around here until 9 p.m. All the counties in purple from Stearns County, extending down to Sibley County, LeSueur County, and off towards the east. 2 to 4 inches of snow is possible, maybe a few spots lower than that, especially in the northern counties here where there is definitely no alerts right now. And up to the northeast, then maybe some higher totals down to the southwest where we're getting moderate snow pretty early. Weather models are going with about 2 to 2.5 inches. A few models a little bit lower and a few a little bit higher than that. I would say on the higher side around the metro area would definitely be about 4 inches. I'm again going with around 2.5 inches around the metro area when it's all said and done. Though, if it's consistent enough and heavy enough, maybe we'll get a little bit more than that. Okay, I want to leave you here with our next drive alert factors for this evening, okay? Because of that snow, watch out for snowy roads. It's still going to be windy out there, and expect slower travel. Take it easy out there, and we'll have dry time coming in later tonight. Have a good day.
All right, Joseph, thanks. The girls' high school state hockey tournament starts today. The next 4 days are packed full of action at Grand Casino Arena and Tria Rink. 16 teams will compete for 2 state championships, one in Class A for the smaller schools and one in Class AA for the big schools. Puck drop for the first game between Laverne and Warroad is set for 11 this morning. It was already being painted as a pessimistic picture for the upcoming Twins season, and now you can add some more of it before the season even starts. Check out this video of Pablo Lopez in spring training this week, and at some point he felt pain in his right throwing elbow. Indications are it's a UCL injury, meaning a tear, and that means he will miss the season. Now, the Twins are seeking a second opinion, but Mike Mack says seldom are initial diagnoses wrong on these injuries. It's Ash Wednesday, which means that it is Ash Wednesday, but it is also Wednesday, meaning that we have a new episode of Women in Sports for our WCCO podcast. Our Marielle Mose caught up with Zara Hassoun, president of the Minnesota Aurora. This will be her first season leading the club. She left her job in the Women's Pro League with Gotham FC to join Aurora, a pre-professional club. She says what drew her to Aurora is the team's compassion for the community they're a part of.
As we kind of roll into our 5th anniversary season, right, we want to celebrate Aurora. We want to celebrate everything this club stands for. We want to celebrate the community that brought us here and the community that is the reason that everybody in the U.S. and abroad knows who Aurora is. It's this community ownership model that makes us special. And what's happening in our community right now, particularly with our immigrant community in the Twin Cities, is really near and dear to our heart. So we, thanks to our fantastic partner, Nate Pence and Pence Homes, for every season ticket sold in 2026, $5 is going to the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota so that they can continue to do the important work they're doing. And we've also dedicated a community collection of our merchandise, so 15% of the sales of all.
And there's a reason we're talking about soccer so early. The Aurora's season schedule is out and tickets are for sale. Catch that conversation on this week's episode of Women in Sports. You'll find it wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, today is Ash Wednesday, marking the beginning of Lent. And earlier this morning, the Shepherd of the Lake Church in Prior Lake performed drive-by ashes for Ash Wednesday. Christians across the world will be observing the 40-day season from now until Holy Thursday on April 2nd. This is in preparation for Easter. Still to come, there are new dietary guidelines out for families. We're asking our mid-morning pediatrician what they mean for family meals and how to navigate the new information. And the pleas from Hennepin County, a hospital there, to lawmakers to keep their doors open. The cuts having an impact on their bottom line.